Mistakes don't define you, they refine you. I invite you to watch this episode and find out how. Hi, this is Aron from AronGross.com, and I'm a clear mind coach. I help people get clear in all sorts of decisions, from family, friends, partners, all sorts of burning issues, to get that clarity to make decisions with confidence and coming from a deeper space of love and compassion towards yourself and other people. So today I'd like to talk about mistakes, something that we all make from time to time. I make mistakes. Parents have made mistakes. Lots of people make mistakes, and often we often wallow in the past. But really, the past is only brought into the present right now via a thought. And what would happen if we didn't make so much meaning out of those past mistakes that we made? What would happen if I didn't take it so seriously? I remember one of the major mistakes in my life was back in 1986. I just finished my rabbinical studies, and I got out of the seminary that I was studying, and my parents passed away. And I went from an experience of having these two beautiful, loving human beings in my life to nothing, an empty house, and these two beautiful individuals that passed away 10 months apart. And it was really, really difficult emotionally for myself and my brother at the time when we lost them. And my brother and I, we split up the inheritance from my family. And then it came along the 87 crash. The economy fell, and so did we in the investments that I put into land and shares and whatever. And I just lost everything. I wanted to get rich quick, so to speak, invested with friends in their companies, in their gold mines, and it was a really, really long story and a very, very difficult journey for me at the time, because I just got out from studying and I'm thrown in the big wide world. And at the time I wanted to get out at a certain point of my investments, but the people that were helping me, so to speak, wanted me to keep my money in the investments, and in the end the share crash came and we never recovered, and the people I invested in with as well went bust. And I would really beat myself up over it. I'd be very angry at them. There was a lot of finger pointing at the time, blaming people for all sorts of things. But really, in life, I can't control anybody else out there except the way I feel and think in this moment. My feeling comes from what I'm thinking. And whether it was right or whether it was wrong, at the end of the day, I do believe in something called destiny. And I guess it was meant to be. And my beating myself up over it doesn't help anybody. And until I learned this understanding, I did recover from those bad times, but never fully psychologically. I was really paralyzed for a long time from that experience to move forward and take more calculated risks. I guess the life lesson that I learned from that at the time is that when you invest in somebody or something, make sure that you've got control of the money, and when you want to pull out, you can, and not sort of be beholden by somebody else where they're helping you. They meant well, but they've got their own agendas as well, even though they don't necessarily mean to hurt you. Today, I'm not angry at anyone, including myself, even though I could theoretically, beat myself up. We moved into a house full of cockroaches at the time. When we lost our house, I got married in 1990, and we lived extremely humbly. The cockroaches that we were living with in this apartment that we were in, which was just horrible, they ate into all of our electronic equipment and destroyed everything. And finally, when we moved out of that place, we had to fumigate the house 3 times just to get rid of all the cockroaches. It was so bad in the new place. So I guess the reality is that once you've learnt the lesson, you don't need the experience anymore, and you can move on with your life. And therefore, I don't have to be defined by my failures. Instead, I like to become what I call a student of failures, which helps you move on with your life, and that way you can feel good knowing that you've learnt the lesson, even if it's an expensive one. It's like an aeroplane. When an aeroplane's flying, it makes course corrections even when it's on autopilot all the time, because the winds are blowing and the plane goes off course. But the plane's autopilot computer system makes these course corrections to go back on, and eventually it gets to its goal. So I guess the takeaway from this is learn from the mistakes, ask yourself, what can I do, rather than how terrible life is. And even if you don't get to your goal, you'll get closer to your goal. So remember, mistakes don't define you unless you let them. They can refine you. So I hope you like this. If you do, please give us a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed, please do. I'm going to leave some contact details with you up there if you want to contact me and continue the conversation. I do give a 15-minute free call to see if we can work together and help you, if you want to take advantage of that. And I guess until next time, bye for now.